Good afternoon, guys and girls, and welcome to another Sunday afternoon chat. That's right, a Sunday afternoon chat on another 100-degree plus day here in southern Oklahoma. I don't have a clue how many we've had here in southern Oklahoma. In Oklahoma City, I only think they've only had 20 some odd, maybe 30 days over 100 degrees. We had that many before the end of June, I believe, because we started having 100-degree days in May. It was 102 when I left the house to come down to the dock today. 102 degrees. We got a little breeze, so it's really not all that bad. Got some clouds floating around. I kind of like that. Got a possibility. We have a possibility of some rain, so I'm going to be praying extra hard for rain. I know a lot of y'all are praying for rain for us, and we appreciate that. We appreciate that a lot, and I'm sure God's going to rain on this parched land down here in southern Oklahoma sometime soon. Everything is so dead. If you don't have a sprinkler system running on it, even a lot of our yard that has a sprinkler system running on it, if that water is not hitting right exactly where that is, that stuff's dead too. So our yard looks worse than it's looked in years, but God will bring the rain. We got a lot of water in this lake right here, and so we're tickled to death to have it. We're glad we got it trapped here. We got this water in prison. It lives here, and it's definitely hadn't run out in a long, long time. It's normally running through this time of the year right here. Usually at the end of August is when it stops running through, and then it usually starts back again in October. So we may have another couple months to wait on some rains, but we may get lots of rains in September, October, November. Who knows? Who knows? We may get some the next day or two. I want to talk about Chris's condition before this video ends today. So let me talk about Chris and give you an update on Chris. We get thousands of comments on our social media, and we get so many that say, how's Chris doing? How's Chris doing? And we try to tell you at least once a week how Chris is doing, but I know not everybody watches every video. I wish you did, but you don't. And so I know a lot of you do watch every video, and those of you who do, this is redundant for me to talk about how Chris is doing because you hear me talking about her all the time. But I do want to talk about and maybe tell you some things I don't normally share. Just a kind of a heart-to-heart, a little heartfelt talk about Chris and her emotional state as well as her physical state, and what I feel like my job is, what I feel like God has empowered me to be able to do in her life to make her life better. And I'll talk about that at the end of this Sunday chat. I want to just real quickly run through some of the appearances we got coming up real soon, because we do have a pretty heavy schedule the next couple 2 or 3 months. We've got a lot of appearances in August, September, and October. We're not going to just let you know what we have right now. You can go to our Jimmy Houston Facebook page, or you can see a lot on YouTube. We do post things telling you what's going on. This coming week, I've got a couple days booked for fishing, and actually those are 2 days when it's only forecast to be 92 or 93 degrees here in southern Oklahoma. So I've had these trips planned for quite some time, so God's got it planned really, really well. I'll be fishing with a little boy named Seth from Somerset, Kentucky. His mom and dad's going to come down here. We're going to fish Tuesday afternoon and evening. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of cloud cover maybe. Clouds are floating around now kind of, and hopefully we'll have some cloud cover in here. I might get a little moisture, you can't ever tell. And we're going to fish mostly in the evening there with Seth coming down from Somerset, Kentucky. The very next morning we're going to get out there at daylight, right at the crack of dawn, and fish with my friend Mark Wayne Mullins. Mark Wayne Mullins is from over in Westville, Oklahoma. He's a United States Congressman. He's running for United States Senate as we speak right now. Hopefully we'll have some good news on that as the year goes on. We get down into November, and hopefully Mark Wayne will be one of our 2 United States senators that we have here in Oklahoma. He's done a great job in Congress for the last 10 years. He really fights for a lot of rural folks like me. He comes from Westville, Oklahoma, which is a small town. He lives on a ranch, actually the ranch that I believe that his family got from the Cherokee Nation when they allotted land to the Indians. And you know, where Chris and I live on Lake Tenkiller in Oklahoma is not some land that was allotted to her family through the Indians, because that land was on Lake Tenkiller. When they built the lake, they inundated her family land, her Cherokee tribal land that she owned, not Chris, but her family owned, and they traded that and gave her some land up where we are, and we still have, I don't really know exactly how much land, the 20 some odd acres there. We've got probably maybe 100 or 150 acres there or something total, but it actually is land that is, but Mark Wayne lives on the family ranch. Isn't that cool? That is so cool. So he's just a country boy like I am. So we're going to do some fishing Wednesday morning with Mark Wayne. And then that evening, we're going to be over in Ada, Oklahoma, which is about 40 miles away at a fundraiser over there. You can, again, check that out on our Facebook and find out the address of that. I wish I'd written it down so I'd had it for you right now, but I don't. I will be in Paris, Texas over the weekend. I'll be down there Friday night and Saturday night. Again, you can look on Facebook. We will be at the Paris Junior High School Auditorium for a big men's conference. It's a great conference. It's the 10th year they've done that. It's absolutely free, costs nothing. We'll have some incredibly great music. My friend Andy Bowman will be over there. He's a great preacher, great singer, and we'll have some great music. We'll have some great messages from, I'll be speaking both Friday night and Saturday morning. It's Friday evening and Saturday morning, so it's a short deal, but it's a men's conference that could absolutely change your life. I've got friends that live over there in that area, and I've already heard from some of them they're going to be there. I've got some other friends I haven't heard from, but I hope they're going to be there. I'm going to call them and remind them in case they don't know that I'm coming around that. I've got some friends up in Detroit, which is just north of Paris, that I'm hoping some of them come down there too. Ron's a real good buddy of mine, his wife. They've got a great place there and great friends. And so we'll be in Paris, Texas on the 12th and 13th. We have, like I said, it's going to be a great men's conference, absolutely free. I'll be out in Phoenix, Arizona, I guess the following weekend on Thursday and Friday for the Mid-State conference. It's not a conference, it's a Mid-State Distributors Show. You have to be a Mid-State account to be in that show, and I'll be out there representing Shell Rotella. I know some of my friends from Atwood's here in Oklahoma, those great Atwood stores, will be out there. I'll be there on a Thursday and Friday, August 19 and 20. And any of y'all are out there at that Mid-State show, I know there'll be a lot of exhibitors out there, people that sell products to Mid-State like Shell Rotella does, and I know a lot of you will be out there. Come by and see me at the Shell Rotella booth and say hi if you're out there. I will be at the Bigfoot Festival. I got to tell you guys and girls, I am really looking forward to the Bigfoot Festival, Saturday, August 27th. I'll only be there that one day. I want to get in there Friday evening in time to go have dinner with my buddy Tim Girardi. And speaking of Tim Girardi, I've been with Tim on the phone a lot this week. He lost his brother in an automobile accident last Monday, and Tim is feeling, as you might suspect, that he would feel when you lose your brother. I never had a brother. My buddy Joe Hall is probably the closest I've come to having a brother. Joe is the guy that his dad founded Blakemore Lures, and Joe owned Blakemore for years and years, and he sold it several years ago to True Turn, and they've kept it a great company and great lures. And Blakemore Roadrunners, I've caught millions of fish on them. Well, at least hundreds of thousands of fish on them. But I caught a lot. But say a prayer for Tim Girardi, the mountain man from Duck Dynasty. He's a very good friend. God's given him a lot of strength. His brother was a great Christian man. Tim is a great Christian man, and he knows that he'll be wrapping his arms around his brother again one glorious day in the future. And that's one of the great things about being a Christian, is we know when we lose someone in this life that if they've given their life to Jesus Christ, if they've repented of their sins and asked God to save them, that they'll see that individual again, and they'll see that individual under the most glorious circumstances you can ever imagine. But anyway, that Bigfoot Festival is Saturday. I think it's Saturday and Sunday, both Saturday and Sunday, August 27, 28. I will only be there on a Saturday. I'm going to fly back out there late that night in time to get home to take Chris to church the next day on a Sunday. Another friend of mine will be over there, the Turtle Man. Turtle Man will be there, and plus they've got a lot of other people over there, a lot of them that I have not met yet, but I think they're folks that's involved in the searching around for Bigfoots and paranormal stuff. It's both Bigfoot and paranormal, so that's going to be great. That's on August 27 and 28, Saturday and Sunday, the last weekend of the month, Morristown, Tennessee. That's right at Lake Cherokee. Tim Girardi told me he was going to do some fishing while he's over there, and I told him, I said, I would too if that thing was in May or maybe even June, but I for sure would be there if it was in April or May. I'd be there. I'd just go and spend 3 or 4 or 5 days there just to be able to fish Cherokee Lake. It's a great lake. As far as the deer situation this week, those of you that have been watching, you've seen the deer videos. We still continually put up 4 videos a week, a couple on what we call Lucy's Herd or the deer around the yard or whatever. We're letting our baby deer out a little bit now. We got 3 baby fawns that we had to rescue, 2 girls and a boy, and we've been bottle feeding those. They've become become real lovers and just really tamed up really well. We've been letting them out in the yard and putting them back in the building at night. They're still not anywhere near big enough to live in the wild. There's a lot of coyotes out there that are just death on these things. Bobcats and mountain lion every now and then too, but the coyotes are really bad. And we tried some trapping. My buddy Joe Arms trapped 3 coyotes here on the property this summer, but they're hard to catch. Man, they're hard to catch. But the antlers are growing. Well, our antler videos are going really well. I can't tell that they're growing a whole lot right now, but check out those antler videos. That's Thursday and Friday, the deer videos on Friday and Saturday. And Chris is feeding some of the deer now and having fun doing that. We got our albino deers that are growing, and those little baby bucks, those little albino baby bucks or something, we're about to figure out that we can afford to build a larger enclosure for those albino deer, and so we'll be doing that. And some of you suggested we might put the 2 baby girls, Lucille and Wild Child, we might put those 2 babies in with those 2 white baby bucks this fall, and we might see what happens. And we might do that. The only problem is they're both yearlings, and the problem when baby deer that are yearlings have babies is they don't know how to raise them, and so if they have babies, we'll have to bottle feed those and take care of them because they don't really know how to raise them. We got a big special running right now on Turbo Power. I think y'all seen the Turbo Power Plus. That's a energy / vitamin drink, immune drink. It's got a lot of great benefits to it that I've actually been drinking it for 15 or 20 years. You know, they keep making it better and better, and the latest version they call Turbo Power Plus. And it's just absolutely amazing how much vitamins and minerals and nutrients it gives you. And you don't have to take any pills. It's just you drink a little bit of it every day, about an ounce. That's about it, an ounce every day. And you'll get all these vitamins and minerals and nutrients. And the one big thing that it does that is important right now, especially with all these viruses and stuff going around, is it strengthens your immune system in addition. And we're running a special up there right now, and I don't know how long they're going to run it, but where they will give you a week's supply. 7 1-ounce packages, which is a week's supply, and 7 individual packages. Those sell for $2 or $3 at truck stops all over the country. But they'll give you a week's supply of that. You pay the postage and handling $4.95, and they'll give you those about $20, $25 worth. But we got that going right now. You can look on our Facebook and YouTube channel, and you can look at that video, and it'll tell you just exactly where to go in there to get that Turbo Power. And just give it a try for a week, see what happens. I mean, you've lost $5 if it doesn't work. But if it does, and we've had several people that have been using that already that reported back to me that they can't hardly get along without. They can't imagine the difference it's making. And like I said, I've been drinking it for a long, long time, and it's absolutely tremendous as far as sustained energy for hours and hours and hours and hours, not just 2, 3, 4 hours, but hours and hours and hours. And in addition to that, it's extremely healthy for you, and it boosts your immune system. I want to also mention the newsletter real quick before I talk about Chris. We put out a newsletter, Jimmy Houston Outdoors newsletter, every month on the first of the month. My grandson Kyle is responsible for putting that newsletter together, and he's doing an incredibly great job. He has got so much great information. I learn stuff in it every month. I learn stuff myself in it. It's got various things down through there, and you can. It's got a little. You can click onto a video. It's almost like having your own private Jimmy Houston Outdoors Twitter page, and you're just amongst a few thousand. I think we got 7,000 or 8,000 people that we send that to. We send it to you absolutely free, no charge whatsoever. All we need is your email address. We don't need your address or anything like that, and you can just text your email address to our Pecan phone number. Our Pecan phone number is 580-618-7260. That's the number of phone we use in the fall to take our pecan orders starting in October for all the pecans that we ship out from the ranch here. 580-618-7260. And if you will just text us your email address, we will email that to you every month. You can read it and delete it. You can look through there. It's got a lot of videos on it that just tells you about the video, and you have to click and go to the video. So it's not, it's not tremendously huge long, but it's got so much stuff on there that will help you in your fishing, in your outdoors, just in your daily life. I mean, I'm telling you, it's really, really a good newsletter, and it's absolutely free. We don't charge anybody for it. It's just a service that we have to help y'all enjoy the outdoors better, to help y'all enjoy some of the things that we enjoy, here at Jimmy Houston Outdoors. Let's talk about Chris just for a few minutes. And guys and girls, I mean, this is just a personal, heartfelt talk. You know, I have believed from day one that God would heal Chris. When I turned that car around, that truck around on the interstate, in the middle of the interstate, 646 miles away from Oklahoma City, and drove back, 22-hour drive. I'd driven down there that morning, drove back, got to that hospital at 4 o'clock in the morning. When I talked to that doctor the next morning, and he told me that, Jimmy, most likely your wife will not ever leave this hospital alive. And if she does, she'll be a vegetable the rest of her life. She'll have to be put in some sort of a home, a nursing home. She'll never be able to go back to the ranch. And she really won't be able to do anything. She'll just lay in bed for however long she lives. Can I tell you, that was 16 months ago. 16 months ago. Chris and I have just spent a beautiful, beautiful 2 weeks here at the ranch. She just came back from a trip. We went to Las Vegas and some Los Angeles Dodger baseball games. Does that sound like a vegetable to you? I'm telling you, she's talking better than ever. She doesn't make sense all the time. And some days you can't understand hardly anything she says. She's still not walking. She's still not talking perfectly. That sweet, sweet, sweet voice that I fell in love with as a teenager. And we've been married over, getting closer to 59 years than we are 58. December 30, be 59 years, 59 years. Married to a woman that a doctor, a very, very smart, intelligent, I'm sure talented neurosurgeon said would most likely not walk out of that, not leave that hospital alive. Still can't walk. And that sweet voice hasn't totally come back, but it's sweeter every day. It's so sweet to me when I hear her talk. And she was trying to say a bottle of water. Yes, last night, I put her in bed, and she couldn't get that bottle of water. And she said, whatever will you call that thing? Just as plain as day, whatever you call that thing. So much is coming back into her mind. So much is coming back into her brain. But as I drove those 646 miles back to Oklahoma City, I prayed constantly. I talked to the God that I put my soul in charge of for eternity. I talked to him constantly. And I begged him. I pleaded with him. I prayed with him. I bargained with him. Don't let her die, God. Don't let her die. God answered that 100%. We're 16 months later. Is she well? No, she's not well. She's still got a long way to go. But she is so much better. I have days when I think, I look back 6 or 8 months and she can't walk any better now than she could 6 or 8 months ago. I have days where I have a hard time understanding what she's saying. And I think, she doesn't talk any better than she does 6 or 8 months ago. And then I get her out of bed and I stand her up. Or I take her to the bathroom and she stands there tall and straight, balanced on both legs. One leg that she still can't feel at all. And by the way, I was rubbing her leg last night, that leg, and she sort of moved a little bit, and I said, can you feel that? Her right leg, the one that's not any good to her right now. She said, yeah, I can feel that a little bit. And that's great. That's fantastic. Those are the little victories that we're winning in this battle with this evil stroke, this evil brain aneurysm that the devil dropped on my wife. But she is better. She is gaining on the situation. And she will continue to get better as time goes by. I had someone ask me a couple of weeks ago, Jimmy, I know you've got great faith. I know you believe. But what if Chris doesn't get any better than she is right now? What if this is as well as God's going to make her? I don't know exactly what I said, but I said something like, well, that's not going to happen. God is going to totally heal Chris. God is healing Chris. He is going to totally 100% heal her. But if it does, I'll go to my grave believing that God is going to heal her. God is going to 100% totally heal her. I believe that. I believe that. Emotionally, she's pretty good. Affectionately, she's more affectionate now than she's been these last 16 months. She reaches over with that one good hand and holds my hand. She reaches over and rubs her hand on my leg. She reaches over and caresses me. We're back intimate again, which is very, very good. And we've been that way for a few months now. And that's a big deal to a man and a woman. It's a big deal to a man and a woman. So I can see so much of her mind that God is renewing, or God is bringing back, or God is healing dead cells. I don't know. Or maybe the right side of her brain is learning what the left side is destroyed. I don't know. But can I tell you, God is still healing Chris. Does she get frustrated and break down and cry occasionally? You bet she does. She sometimes just breaks down and it just breaks my heart. It just kills me. And I just start wiping the tears and tell her, don't cry, baby, don't cry, baby, don't cry. It's going to be okay. She says, I don't know if it is or not. My job that God has entrusted me with is to make sure that she knows she's going to be well. To make sure that she knows she's still beautiful. She's as beautiful as any woman I've ever seen. And to make sure that she knows in her mind, I'm going to walk, I'm going to talk. My right arm is going to throw that lure out there and set the hook when a big bass bites. That's my job right there, to keep her positive. And I'll do it till the day I die. And I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that you're going to see Chris walking. You're going to hear Chris talking to those baby deer and feeding them and walking around. You're going to see her out here on this lake catching fish, because that's the kind of God that I serve. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one. And remember, I sure do love you.